this is Becca. This is one of my first videos, so bear with me. I have my little one here, so you might hear her in the background. In this video, I wanted to do a granny square. This is one I made the other day. They're actually really easy to make, and I think it's a good project for, especially if you're just learning how to crochet. I'll post a picture of a blanket I made out of granny squares, and you can actually make these really fast, and it's a lot of fun. So, the yarn I'm going to be using is by Yarn Bee, and it's called a sugar wheel, and this one is called Saturday Sunday. I really liked all the colors that came with it. I thought that was really cute. And on here on the label, you can see that if you're going to knit, the knitting needles, the size you would use is 5mm. For crocheting, they recommend a 5.5. I have a 5mm crochet hook here that I'm going to be using. I actually don't know if I have a 5.5. I can check if I have a 5.5. It's 5.25, 5.75. We can use this one. And this one is a 5.25mm hook. Can you see that? Camera has to focus a bit. Anyways, I do recommend using the hooks that they give you, the size hooks they give you on the label, or needles that they give you on the label. But you can venture out, and you can, like for example, you can go a little bit bigger if you want, and it'll kind of change the look of your project, just depending on what you're going for. So to start off our granny square, we're going to need to make a slip knot. So I have my yarn here, and I'm just going to make a little loop. Then I'm going to grab the yarn and pull it through, just like that. And then you can pull both ends to make it a little bit tighter. And then we are ready to insert our crochet hook. So I'm going to put it right through there. And make sure you are using the end that is attached to your ball of yarn. Believe me, I have done that before. Okay, so to start off, we're going to chain 6. So I'll show you how to make a chain. You're going to get your yarn. You have one loop on your hook. You're going to get your yarn, and you're going to pull it over your hook. And then you're going to pull that through the loop. And that's 1. And then there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and that is our chain of 6. That's really cute. And you need to connect it now in order to make a circle that we're going to work in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the first one right there. That's the one we're going to go in. So you just take your hook, go in through that loop, and then you're going to bring your yarn over. Now notice you have 2 loops on your hook and your yarn over. You're going to bring your yarn through both loops like that. And then you will have a nice circle to work in for your granny square. Okay? This is your tail here, your tail end. And when you're done with your project, we can weave that in. I actually try and weave it in when I'm doing the first part here, but that could be a different video. So now what you want to do is you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And this is actually going to act as your first double crochet. Okay? And so we're going to need to make 3 here. So you bring your yarn over. We're going to go into the main circle right there. That's where we're going to work out of. So bring your yarn over, go into the circle. You're going to yarn over again, and bring that yarn out. Now you will notice you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull it through the first 2. Now you have 2 loops on your hook. Bring yarn over again and pull it through the next 2. Okay, and now that is your second double crochet, remember, because this one counts as 1. So now yarn over, we're going to go in, bring out the yarn through the middle. You have 3 loops on your hook. Bring the yarn over again. Bring it through the first 2 loops only. Now you have 2 loops left. Bring your yarn over again and bring it through those last 2 loops. Okay, and now you have 3. Now you have 3 double crochets. Right here is a corner that we're going to work. So I want you to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and now we are going to do 3 more double crochets. Pull it through those 2, pull it through the next 2. Okay, so remember, yarn over, go in through the center, grab the yarn, pull it through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull it through the first 2 loops. Now you have 2 loops left on your hook. Yarn over, pull it through the next 2 loops. Like that. That's your second. And do it again to make a third. Yarn over, go through the center, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2. Like that. So now you have that set of 3. You'll see it start to come together the more we work. I think it's always a little bit, for me, it's always a little challenging when I first start, because it's a little bit awkward the way you're holding things, or you really can't see your project coming through yet, but the more you work it, then you can start to see it. So since this is another corner, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now bring your yarn over and go through the center. Bring that yarn out, going through the first 2 loops, going through the next 2 loops. Okay, yarn over, go through the center, go through first 2 loops, go through the next 2 loops. That's your second. Yarn over, grab the yarn, pull it through, go through those first 2 loops, go through the next 2 loops, and that's your third double crochet. So now we're at another corner, so we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and you can see what we're making here. So now I want you to yarn over again, go through the middle, and we're going to go through the first 2, next 2, yarn over, go through the middle, bring your yarn through, yarn over, first 2, next 2. Okay, now we need our third, so you're going to yarn over, and we're going to go through the first 2, and then go through the next 2. See? You can start to see it come together. So now this is the corner that we need to close up, so go ahead and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to use a slip stitch in order to connect this. Now remember that first chain there, that first chain that we did, the chain 3, that one does act as a double crochet. So we're going to slip stitch it to that one. So go into your third chain, so you can count them here. There's 1, 2, 3. That's the one we're going to go in. Okay, so I go in right there. And then you yarn over, and then you're going to pull through both loops on your hook, just like that. Now you can see that we have finished the center of our granny square. Okay, so to continue, we're going to go ahead and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And right now we're going to chain 1 more, and that'll make sense when I finish the round here. So just trust me on this. Chain 1 more after the 3. Okay, now we are going to work into this corner right here. So we're going to do 3 double crochets. So bring your yarn over, go in, okay, yarn over, pull through first 2, yarn over, pull through next 2, and do it again, yarn over, go in, bring your yarn out, pull through first 2, pull through next 2. Yarn over, go in, bring the yarn out, pull through first 2, pull through next 2. Okay, there's the 3. And since this is a corner, we're going to chain 3. Okay, now since we're making our turn here, so we're still working into this corner, so now we have to do 3 more double crochets into that same corner. So 3 more double crochets after that chain 3. Yarn over. Do those 2, yarn over, pull through those 2, pull through those 2, pull through those 2, pull through those 2. Okay, and you can see that we made another little corner right there. So now those are those 3 double crochets on the bottom. Now in order to make this jump, we're going to chain 1. So that's why we had to do the extra chain 1 over here. So chain 1 to make the jump. Okay, and now we're going to work into this corner. So we're going to do 3 double crochets. If at any time I go too fast, feel free to pause it and go back to the slower part, how I do the double crochets. Okay, there's the 3 double crochets. Now because we're making a corner, we're going to chain 3. Okay, and because we're making that corner and that turn, we have to do 3 more double crochets into that same hole there. Okay, see, and you can see it coming along there. I always kind of manipulate it a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. And you can see that our square is getting bigger. Okay, so again, we have these 3 double crochets we have to cross. So in order to cross that, we're going to chain 1. Okay, and then 3 double crochets right here to start. Okay, and because we're at the corner, chain 3. Like that. Okay, and then again, 3 more double crochets into that same hole right there. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting ready to close up that next row. See, this was our first one. This was our second. So in order to cross that gap, chain 1. And then we're going to do 3 double crochets. Okay, and because we're at a corner, chain 3. That's 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay, and then now when we first started this row, remember we chained 3 and then we chained 1 more to cross that gap right there. So that chain 3, that does act as a double crochet. So instead of doing the 3, we are going to end it with 2 because this will be our third. Okay, so we chained 3, now do 2 double crochets. My yarn got tangled there. Okay, and now in order to connect this, we're going to do what we did before. We're going to use a slip stitch. So we're going to count to our third chain. There's 1, 2, 3. There's the third one right there. Hold on. You got to make sure, sometimes it's hard to see these. So 1, 2, 3. This is our third one right there. Sometimes you do have to manipulate the yarn in order to see your stitches. It is important to count the stitches because that's how your work does stay nice and straight. So do make sure to count your stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's the third one right there. So you're going to go in there and we're going to yarn over, and they're going to pull through both of those loops right there. Okay, and look at that, you just made another row. Isn't that pretty? So now we're going to do another row, and we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that's going to act as a double crochet. So we're working into this space right there. So now we need to do 2 double crochets because remember this chain acts as a double crochet and we're working in 3s. So now we just do 2 double crochets into this space. Pull it through those 2, pull it through the next 2. Okay, yarn over, go in, grab the yarn, bring it out, pull it through those first 2, pull it through the next 2. Okay, and now we need to cross this gap right here in order to get to our corner. So we're going to chain 1, yarn over, chain 1. Okay, and now we're going to do 3 double crochets. Again, if I work too fast on these double crochets, you can go back to the beginning to see how to do the double crochet. Okay, and now we're going to chain 3. Like that. My yarn is getting tangled in this guy. There we go. Okay, so after you chain 3, working into that same corner, you're going to do 3 more double crochets. You'll get a feel for it and how you want to hold your yarn, and everyone, does it differently, what feels comfortable to them. you got that corner going. Okay, we have this space, these 3 double crochets to cross, so chain 1. Okay, and then we're going to work into this space right here. So I'm going to yarn over and 3 double crochets into this space. Okay, chain 1 to get to the corner. Okay, give me 1 second while my daughter asks for Genevieve's Playhouse. Okay, sorry about that, had to tend to my little one. So that was, we skipped this by doing a chain, and then there's the double crochet. So we're going to do 2 more. Okay, and then now we're ready to chain 3.
Yes.
Okay, and then working into that space, 3 more double crochets.
Actually. 11.
Okay, see, there's the other corner. Okay, now in order to skip this space, chain 1. I'm going to go and work into the space, and we're going to do 3 double crochets. Okay, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets.
Baby.
Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 more double crochets right there. Okay, and you can see it start to come together. Looks really pretty. Okay. Then now, in order to skip that space again, chain 1. Okay, and then you're going to work right here. Turn over. 3 double crochets. Okay, chain 1, working in the corner, 3 double crochets. Okay, and then since it's a corner, we chain 3. And 3 double crochets. And here's that side. Okay, now to finish this up, we are going to chain one, because you have to jump that gap right there, so you do chain one. And in order to connect this, we use a slip stitch again. So I want you to go into your third chain. So you can see this one pretty easily. There's 1, 2, 3 right there. That's your third chain. So 1, 2, 3, go in here. Okay, you yarn over, and you're going to pull through both of those. Okay, just like that. And that's your slip stitch that connects them. So now you can see you have your next row. I was a little bit iffy about how that looks, but no, that's good. It comes out good, especially when you finish it up. Okay, so now we're gonna do, so that was 1, 2, 3. Now we're gonna do the fourth one, the fourth row. So go ahead and chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And because we have to skip these 3, remember this acts as a double crochet, because we have to skip this gap right here, because we have to skip this part, go ahead and chain 1 extra one. Like that. Okay, and then now you're going to be working into this space right here. So 3 double crochets. Okay, and then chain 1. Okay, and then 3 double crochets in the corner. Okay, and then chain 3. Like that. 3 more double crochets in that corner. Chain 1, 3 double crochets in the space. Okay, like that. Okay. Okay, and chain 1, 3 double crochets into this space right here. Okay, and then chain 1. Okay, and then working into that corner right there. So 3 double crochets. Going to chain 3. 3 double crochets. Just like that. Okay, chain 1. 3 double crochets into this space. chain 1, 3 double crochets into this space, start to get muscle memory after a little bit, and you can just start to do it without even thinking. Chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 3, because this is a corner, so 1, 2, 3, and then again 3 double crochets in that same corner. And you can always pause the video and finish the little section you're working on and then continue, and press continue as you're moving along. Okay, chain 1, 3 double crochets into this space, chain 1, 3 double crochets, you always do want to try to keep, so I hold it like this, try to keep a good tension on your yarn, because it helps make your stitches look nice and uniformed, so it does help to keep a little bit of tension on your yarn. This one's the second one. Okay, chain 1 to go to the corner. Okay, and then working in that corner right there. Okay, 3 double crochets in the corner. Okay, chain 3. And again, 3 double crochets in the same corner. Like that. Okay, almost done with this row. Chain 1. Okay. Remember, that was that gap we created. Right there, can you see it? That's that gap we created. So this does act as 1 double crochet. So when we're going into this one, we only need to do 2, because this acts as our third. Okay, so you already chained your 1, so now you're going to go in and do 2 double crochets. There's the 1. There's the 2, and then your third is that chain right there. So we're going to count 3 and use a slip stitch to connect it. So there's 1, 2, 3. Yep, there's the 1 chain, there's 2, there's the third right there, so we're going to go right in here. Okay, and then of course you yarn over, and then you're going to pull through both loops. Oops. Came out. That's the third chain. Okay, yarn over, pull through both loops like that. And you just made yourself a granny square. So to finish this off, I kind of tug on my yarn a little bit. I like to kind of tighten it, so tug on it at the end. What you're going to do is you're going to yarn over one more time, and you're going to pull it through the loop. I cut myself a little slack, and I take my hook out. Then you can get your scissors and you can cut your yarn there. Okay. And then I just pull that yarn through, and that is actually going to create a little knot for you. And what you do with these tails at the end is you can get a nice yarn needle and you can actually weave them through. But that is our granny square that we just made. And I think it took about maybe 30-35 minutes. But yeah, I'll do another video on how you can connect them. But really therapeutic making these. I enjoy making these a lot. There's different types of granny squares out there. Ones with flowers and designs, and they look really beautiful. This is the first one that I learned how to make. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.